My name is Charlie Hogg, and I'm from Australia. And I would just like to share with you a little bit about my spiritual journey, my inner journey. I actually grew up in Melbourne, and I think from a very young age I was a person that was looking for something. I don't think I really knew what I was looking for, but there was a feeling that I wanted to search for some higher power or truth. When I was just 12 years old, the tradition in a Christian society, even though all religions are based here in Australia, the majority religion is still a Christian religion. And the tradition is that you have confirmation classes, and this is a way of children learning about the religion. So my parents sent me along to the confirmation classes, and I went for many Sundays over many months. And after the confirmation classes, they asked me what I'd learnt, and as a 12-year-old, I announced to the family that I think I'm a non-believer, I think I'm an atheist. Because a very immature mind, I found it very hard to understand the God that I was taught about. It was a God that seemed to a young mind very punishing, judgmental, and authoritarian. And so I sort of found it hard to accept that, but at the same time, I was still looking and searching for something. When I left school, I went to university and I studied architecture, but this search for truth, this search for meaning, this search for some deeper purpose to life was very strong in me. And so I began to travel, and I travelled from Australia to Southeast Asia, and I went through Southeast Asia into India, Nepal. And then I went right through the Middle East from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Turkey, and then into Europe, and I settled in London. But on this journey, I began to stay in religious communities everywhere. I lived with Sikhs in a Gurudwara. I lived in a Buddhist temple for some months with the monks. And I lived with Muslims during Ramadan. I went to the Ganges and bathed in the Ganges. I went to the Dalai Lama, in Dharamsala in India. I spent time living with a guru in India. And then I went through the Middle East, and in Europe, I was actually living in a Christian monastery for a while. And so I was really searching for something. And I settled in London, and in London I was working, and I was actually still looking. And in my searches, I went to a place called the Spiritualist Association of Great Britain, which is in Hyde Park in London. And when I was there, I came in touch with the Brahma Kumaris, and two Brahma Kumaris were teaching meditation. And as soon as I saw them, I could tell they had an experience. It was like on their face, I could see that it wasn't just a belief or some traditional ideas, but they were really experiencing something internally. So I was very interested. So I went along to the Brahma Kumaris Centre in London, and they taught me two things, amongst many things, but two things that have become pivotal really to my spiritual journey. The first thing they taught me was, who am I? Now, 80% of the world believes that I'm a soul, a spirit, the Atma. But they not only taught me who am I, they taught me how to experience myself as the soul. They defined the soul so accurately as a point of sparkling life energy, which resides in the front of the brain. That I am the soul, beyond really the gender, the nationality, the religion, the profession, all the labels of my body. But not only that, taught me how not just to know I'm a soul, believe I'm a soul, but actually taught me how to experience myself as a soul. And when they did that, I found an incredible feeling of peace. But secondly, they taught me about how to link with the Supreme Soul, and offered me the idea that God, the Supreme, or Shiva, Shiv Baba, is also a soul like me. I, the soul, the point, sit in the forehead. God is a soul, but without a body, but a real living being, a conscious being. Not just a belief or a concept or a philosophical idea, but a real living being. And that in a way, the meditation practice is developing a relationship with this being. And so I began to experiment with these ideas because, as I said earlier, I found it hard to accept God. As I traveled, I became maybe, like they say, an agnostic. I'm not sure who God is. But then when I began to experiment, I was really experimenting to be the soul and linking my mind, having yoga or union or connection with Shiv Baba, the Supreme Soul or God. And in my first few weeks, I had an extraordinary experience. I just felt I, the soul, looked through my third eye. I could see the light of God. Not only see, and I could feel it. And then I felt like I connected to the ocean of love. And that love just filled the core of my being. And I can honestly say that when I tasted the purity of this true love of the divine, this true love, this true peace, this true happiness from God, I felt I've come home and this is really where I belong. And so what has really become absolutely fundamental to me every single day is that I wake up early in the morning, very early in the morning, and I sit very quietly and I become soul conscious. Because my experience is the only way I can really connect with God, with the Supreme Soul, Paramatma, is when I'm soul conscious, because God is eternally soul conscious. Sometimes I think it's like God is on the FM wavelength. When I forget who I am and I'm body conscious, I'm on the AM wavelength. I can believe in God, but I can't really connect and experience. So the more I become soul conscious, it's like I enter Shiv Baba's world. Shiv Baba becomes so real. I feel the closeness. And then I explore my relationship. I see Shiv Baba as my parents, both mother and father, and feel that absolute love from the mother and father. I see Shiv Baba as my beloved, really the lover of the soul. And one of the reasons is I found that when I fell in love with Shiv Baba, there's natural concentration. The law says that where the heart goes, the mind will follow. So you have this natural concentration or link. But I realize that for real progress in my spiritual life, it's not just enough to experience love, I need learning. And so Shiv Baba has become like my teacher, educating me about who I was, how to connect with him, and how to do elevated actions to create a positive future, but also how to have the quality of meditation to clear my karmic accounts or my karmic debts of the past. But even for that real spiritual progress, love and learning is not enough. I need guidance. And so Shiv Baba is like the Satguru who's guiding me along the journey. And I can say from my heart that I've transformed so much over the years, incredible transformation in so many ways, but maybe at the heart of it, Shiv Baba, who's my most meaningful and important relationship in life, has taught me my own value. I think when I started, I didn't see much value in myself. I think that's one of the situations of the world today. We can't see our own value inside. But he taught me my own value, so my self-respect has improved. And when self-respect improves, you can respect others. You know, when you self-respect, you will be loving and you will be loved by others. And so this connection with God, with Shiv Baba, is the most important thing for me in my life. And I would absolutely encourage all of you to experiment, learn to experience who you are and how to experience the connection with Shiv Baba, the Supreme Soul. Why? Because we live in an increasingly uncertain world. Everything around us is uncertain. The politics, the economy, the environment, everything is uncertain. But my only certainty is really connecting with that which always exists. I, the eternal soul, and my relationship with the Supreme. And when that is strong, no matter how the world changes around me, I can remain stable. And when I remain stable, I give natural support to all my family and all my friends around me. So I would really love to express from my heart and encourage you to really go deeper, learn who you are, learn how to have this connection, and observe how it really creates such a beautiful life, a life full of peace, love, and happiness. Thank you so much.